Welcome to Renewed and Radiant for women over 40 who are ready to own their power, prioritize their wellness, and design a life they love. I'm your host, Elsa Martin, and I'm here for the real, raw conversations that we all crave. Whether we're talking healing, hormones, purpose, or pleasure, nothing is off the table. So grab your tea, your journal, or just your earbuds, and let's dive into the empowered, vibrant life that is waiting for you. Because your next chapter starts now. Do that. I should ask you just to confirm it's Chrisafulli, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Make sure I'm saying
Thank
it right.
you.
Okay. All right. Okay, this one today is going to be an amazing episode. And I just have to tell you before I even introduce her, for this episode, you need to lean in. You are going to want to glean all the wisdom that this lady is going to share with you today. Today, I have Alejandra Chrisafulli with me, and let me read you her bio because she's got a lot of credentials. She is the creator of the 180 Method and is an award-winning master coach and global speaker with over 21 years of experience in coaching, training, and development. She is considered one of the pioneers of the coaching industry. She has worked with over 5,000 coaching clients, trained over 300 coaches, guided entrepreneurs to scale into multi six-figure and seven-figure businesses, and has built a multi-million-dollar coffee business with her husband, Eric, spanning Southern California. She's known for her engaging and compelling style. She's taken practical business expertise with the foundation of God, giving her clients the modern day magic that gets results. I am
Yes.
so excited for this one today, ladies. When I first met Alejandra, I was like, oh, I need to learn more from her, and I want everybody else to learn more from her too. Thank you for joining us today, Alejandra. I am just pumped to have you with us.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate it. And yeah, I appreciate getting to be here and to be with your audience. So this is fun. We're going to have some fun. It's
Yes,
going to
we
be
are.
deep probably, but we're going to have some fun going deep.
Yes, yes, I love this. Okay. Will you please share, because I've heard tiny bits of your story. Will you please share your story with us? We like the real, the raw, the good stuff. Please share that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The real and the raw. I love that too. Thank you for even asking because that's really what creates the connection of things, right? As you mentioned, I have been in the coaching industry. It's now over 22 years. I feel like that's starting to age me though.
You look great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, I'll take it. Maturity, what more wise for sure. Yeah, I actually grew up in a household where I thought that I was stupid and, excuse my French, basically a piece of shit. And one of the reasons why is because in my household we spoke Spanish was my first language, and there's these slang terms that you really can't translate into English. So if you know another language, you know that there's just slang. It's not translatable. But there was something that my mother would say all the time in Spanish, and I never really put much thought into it until I started learning English when I was going to grade school. And I had this one significant moment where I wanted to show her a picture I had drawn. And when I went to go show her this picture, she said the slang term, which is estúpida cabra de mi chica, which would loosely translate, and that's exactly what I did in this moment, into stupid piece of shit. I thought she was talking to me because my mind was set on this picture I was going to show her. So it was an attachment of like me in that situation and literally thought she was saying this to me. And then I started replaying all the times that I had heard her say it up to that point and just completely internalized it like, oh, she must have been talking about me all those times too. And so it's almost like a jacket like you put on and like I just wore it as though it was genuinely mine. And it created so many things in my life. I didn't learn to read until I was 12 years old. I was in the special ed classes. I had dyslexia. I was deathly afraid to speak in public because I thought if I ever did, everybody would know how stupid I was. So I limited myself. I became a shell of who God had designed me to be. Because before that, I was bold and fearless and courageous, and then it's like I became this very small, just like, oh, don't look at me. So into my later adult years, that really stifled me and got me into all sorts of situations where I was not the best in picking boyfriends and had abusive relationships, never physically, although I do have a cigarette burn scar from a boyfriend, so that might qualify as physical abuse. But it was more the mental and emotional abuse that I was going through. Financially, I had incurred like a ton of debt, thousands and thousands of dollars. I think when I checked that it was like 64,000 at that point in my early 20s and had that much debt. And I was working for a company making 30,000 a year in Southern California, and it was just a mess. And then I found myself pregnant, and the father of my daughter decided he did not want to have anything to do with us. So that mentality, that jacket I had put on, that identity really from back then just created all of these really hard things within my life. And it wasn't until I found myself pregnant and alone and having to make a decision of what am I going to do? Am I going to keep her? Or am I not going to keep her? And I did not know God at this time. I know that He had His hand upon me because I did decide to keep her. She's the most incredible being. But through that decision, I also decided I'm going to quote unquote fix whatever is broken inside of me because I want to be the best mom ever. And that kind of led me to therapy because, 20 some years ago, life coaching wasn't a thing. So as I was in therapy, I started noticing, okay, like this helps, but now I'm just talking about a bunch of stuff. Like nothing's truly changing in my life. I just feel better for that hour, but then I go back into my life kind of thing. And I just felt this like knowing, like a pull that there was something else out there. And I was introduced to life coaching at that point. I heard this woman speak and was like, okay, yeah. I was crying at the end of her presentation, like, yes, this I need whatever it is you're talking about. I don't know what it is because I don't know what this whole life coach thing is, but whatever that is, I want it. And so I figured out how to do that and went through coaching, and she offered me a job to be a life coach after that. And it just changed my life completely at that time. So that's where I said yes and started coaching in a very secular way, which we can talk more about in a moment.
That's amazing. And I do want to say that I have many ladies in my program that come to me. They've also maybe seen therapists, counselors, that kind of thing. That's what I find. And it took me a while to understand this, but it's like they seem to just rehash the same stuff over and over and over again. So I'm always trying to direct them to a life coach because let's actually get you moved on. I mean, I have a bit of life coach certification, but nothing like what you have. And mine is just to help them with the day to day as they go through the program of getting healthy and transforming their life that way. Nothing deep like what you do. I see that with therapy, maybe counselors, and not that there's anything necessarily bad with that, but
No.
at what point do we move on and not just keep rehashing things over the years? I'm glad that you recognize that and do that process with people.
Oh my goodness, I agree. Yeah, like the majority of my clients are in that same cycle and they've spent thousands of dollars and countless hours in the what I label as more of like the traditional self-help models that just really don't help long term. They might for a short period of time, but then find yourself back into a 360 cycle.
Let's tie that into you because you have a program called the 180 method. Can you share a little bit with us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We, just as we're talking about like 360 cycles, we live into them all the time. We actually love cycles. Even though you might be thinking, no, I don't like that I keep ending up in the same place. The reason why I say you like cycles is because they're comfortable. They're known. They give an element of safety and security. And whether we're conscious to it or not, that at the end of the day, what the cycle does. And so breaking those 360 cycles can be very challenging. So that's what I support high performing women do is break the cycle and create a 180, because that's what we want. We want directional shift from what has been happening in life, whether that's in your marriage, in your business, in your motherhood, whatever that may be, that we do an 180 shift so that you don't keep repeating the same cycles. And the foundation of it is this distinction between healing versus dealing.
Tell us more. Tell us more. Come on.
I'm all about distinctions. I think they're really important. Healing versus dealing. So, dealing really is this place of management. It's like, I have to stay on top of this. I have to do my affirmations. I have to do my journaling. I've got to meditate in the morning. This is how I'm going to stay sane and not burn out. It's just, they're exhausting. Anything that you are dealing with in your life is a form of control, avoidance, and management.
Okay. Okay.
And it doesn't yield the results you're really wanting or needing, especially when it comes to designing the life that you love and that you want. So, healing is really about getting to the core source of what's causing something to be the way that it is in the first place. So, if you get to the core source, the root cause, and heal at that level, then you don't have to deal with it. It's like the difference between, would you rather deal with the symptoms or heal the cause? Well, hello, I want to heal the cause so that I don't have to deal with the symptoms. And when it comes to our physical health, we approach it from that place. We go to the doctor. I want to get to the root of this. What is this about? What is this thing that's happening? I don't feel good. But when it comes to our mental, emotional, or spiritual health, we look at it very differently. We don't like to go to the root because it's hard and uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. That's exactly what I was going to say too. Yes, I'm all about doing that with women. We get to the root cause with their physical health. What is
Yes.
causing this? Let's fix it so that you're actually healed and you have the lifelong results. All right. So now we're talking about doing this internally as well. This is perfect.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And I've mentioned God a few times, and I can share my story around that too, because I did recently meet him about 7 years ago. God designed us to heal, and it's often a way that we don't even know how the healing actually happens. For example, I was just having a client say this, and I hear this a lot from my clients. How do I actually heal? Give me the strategy, the 1, 2, 3 step. I just want it laid out like that. How do I do that? And the problem with that is because of the way that we're designed to heal, that healing is designed to be natural. Example, if you have a flesh wound, like I just cut myself the other day cooking dinner, and it's not like the moment my flesh wound happened that I was like, okay, let me get white blood cell A, B, and C, and it's going to go straight to that point in my body. I don't know. I don't know how it happens, but instantly my body reacts naturally with, ooh, okay, I need to heal that. Layer by layer by layer by layer, it heals. So it's a natural occurrence and process. We don't necessarily have this blueprint of understanding how it's happening. And mental, emotional, and spiritual pain, traumas, hardships are the same way too. It has to be a natural occurrence, because whatever isn't natural or feel natural, you will always revert back to what does.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the comfort of it, right? The healing that we're talking about, it's a natural occurrence that happens in this 180, and how God has designed us not just to physically heal naturally, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually heal naturally. And there's a way in which to come to that naturally occurring healing place that one just has to be open, ready, and willing to go there.
I love this. This is amazing. I've never really heard of it that way. I'm always talking about healing naturally and the way God created us, eating the way He created us, and doing the movement He created us for. This is so like comprehensive. I love this. It's like, but it's doing it on the inside. This is so good. Thank you for that explanation. I've never heard it explained like that before. This is incredible. So good.
Good. Good. Love that.
Can you share with us how your journey, and you mentioned about the whole term with your mom
Yeah.
and all of that, how did that and how does it affect you now, or how does it help you? How has your journey led you to what you're doing now?
Thank you for asking. Such a good question. So, healing happens in layers, just like, again, a flesh wound, and happens in layers. I mean, I speak publicly all the time now. So, that's completely gone. I used to not even write in front of people because I didn't want them to see that I was misspelling. I write all the time. My posts, I probably have all sorts of, misspells or grammar things. And I'm like, it just doesn't even affect me. It's not even a thought. I can be in meetings with, people who've graduated from, Princeton or Berkeley and have this doctorate and have this thing. And I'm like, I feel smarter than what you do. And it doesn't come from like an egoic place of like, oh, look at me. It really just is this genuine, like, I'm a human being, you're a human being, we're all made in God's image, which makes us brother and sister, and it creates this just ability of just, like surrender and don't have to look at it any other way. And I did not get there through mindset hack or shift. It really came through this healing that we're talking about. So yeah, today I would say I'm free from that. It no longer dictates my life. I met my beautiful husband who completely became father to my daughter when she was 9 months old. Like that's dad to her. And then we also started this coffee company, this multi-million dollar coffee company. I have a thriving, successful coaching business. I paid off all my debt. I have savings now. I would never have looked at my bank account before and been like, wow, look at that. I had done a lot of healing prior to meeting God. It was 15, 16-ish years of doing this work. And I had the 180 method before I met him, but it was missing something. It was always missing something. I never could put my finger on it. And clients were having profound healing and changes in their life, but there was still something missing. And it wasn't until I had a health scare that I ended up in the hospital. And while I was there, I had a massive panic attack and got stuck in that. It led to severe anxiety, insomnia. I had to get on medication just to be able to sleep. It was something that I had helped people get off of. Talk about being humbled. I was humbled, literally brought to my knees. Through that process, I met God. And I feel like in my darkest hours, he reached into the darkness and pulled me out into the light and was like, enough, we have work to do. I know. Praise Jesus.
Um,
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
Yes.
that's when the 180 took a whole shift and the missing piece came into place. And now the difference, I really feel like this is one of the reasons why I was given the gift of knowing both sides. I know the self help work without him, and I know the self help work with him. And I can speak to people who have been on both sides and really are maybe more so stuck in those traditional self-help ways, and they're feeling like something's missing. I don't know what it is, and they've had maybe religious trauma or something that has kept them away from knowing God wholly, fully. And I can speak into that and have that relatability. So, it as hard as it was to walk through, I am grateful every day because of the experience of it and the healing that happened from it.
That's the thing. We use our journey and allow God to turn it for good. We can actually then help others. And then it's so fulfilling. And that's why you're so passionate. That's why I'm so passionate about what we do, because we know what it's like to be on one side, but then to have the healing and shift to the other side and the freedom that's
Mm,
there. Incredible.
so good. It's so good. Yeah,
Amazing.
totally
Oh,
different. Yeah.
so good.
So yeah, it was quite a journey. Getting off the medication, zero anxiety now, like I sleep like a babe. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
That's incredible. I love this. This is so good. And you know what I love the most about this is I know that people are listening and finding hope and encouragement. I mean, I'm even getting some hope and encouragement out of this for sure.
Good.
So I know lots of other ladies are going to be too. Thank you for this. And thank you for being so honest with your story. I feel like a lot of this kind of thing doesn't get talked about all the time. And I just really appreciate and I love that about you, your authenticity and how you're willing to be open. And that shows me that you can help people on such a deeper level than if you weren't and if you hadn't done this journey yourself.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's just, again, I give him the glory of it and just getting to be a vehicle that he uses to help others. I'm just in awe of being able to do that. And the gifts that I've been given to do that. And the whole stupid piece of it, like, it actually is, that is part of my gift too. Having felt that, known that, experienced that, it had turned into a curse in my younger years, but now is such a gift.
Amazing how that can shift if we do the work. Because there's a lot of people stuck in that,
Yeah.
still thinking of themselves like the worthless piece,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you've done the work. If we do the work, it can change everything. And actually, you can become bitter, you can become better. And we each have a choice of which way we're going to go with it.
Exactly. It reminds me of something of I hear this a lot. I don't know if you do with your clients, but people who talk about don't like that I'm sensitive or I don't like that I'm too much. People say I'm too much or my perfectionist tendencies just overpower. And actually all of those things are gifts, but they can quickly turn into a curse, just like the whole stupid thing was for me. It was a curse for much of my life, but not recognizing actually because I had that belief, it like brought out these gifts that God had given me that would never have been able to create and accomplish what has been created and accomplished in my life now. And same for anyone else tuning into this, like anything that you feel ashamed about or have hidden from or kept secret of or trying to avoid, stop for a moment and really look at, actually, is there a gift inside of this? And I know that's a question a lot of people might ask or say, look for the gift in the bad things. I'm really talking about pull back the layers and look at how God has given you that gift to actually build his kingdom, not your own. Because when you use it as a way to cope or compensate for yourself, that's when you build your kingdom. But when you recognize that it's being used to build his kingdom, that's when you start going, oh my gosh, the sensitive thing is actually my ability to connect and relate to others, and it draws people in with such a loving way that this is how I can use to share about God and what he's done in my life or something of that nature.
So good. And how we can help other people. That is amazing. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that. And Heliandra, I like to make sure every person that's listening comes away with a few takeaways. So I'm going to share a couple that I've gotten from this, and I want to hear from you
wonderful.
too, what you'd like to send them away with as far as some takeaways. But number one is you can become bitter or you can become better. We've all had things maybe said to us or done to us. I'm sure everyone has experienced that.
Yes.
Some people get stuck, so we can choose to be stuck or not and to use it to move on. The other one that really stands out to me is how you chose to um, allow it to propel you so that you didn't just keep going back to that. And even though you said you made some bad decisions or things that weren't the best choices, you dug yourself out of that. You found a way out of that, and you had to show up to that life coaching training, and then you get hired by them to be a life coach. Like, this is amazing. We never know what that one decision, that one stepping out just towards taking us towards our goal is actually going to lead to. Like, you had no idea that was going to lead to all of what you're doing now. This is incredible.
Exactly. So true. Those are good takeaways for sure.
Okay, do you have a takeaway to add to it?
Yeah, just to not continue being stuck in a 360 thinking that that's just how it is. I like to use the word decide versus choice because they're different. A decision it's derived from the word decidere, a Latin word decidere, which means to kill off. So when you decide, you kill off every other option. There is no other choice or decision to be made. It's a done deal. Choice has more flexibility to it. It's like, today I can choose to do this, but tomorrow I might do that. Or, oh, I like this now, but maybe the next time not that. So deciding to get out of that cycle, even though it is quote unquote uncomfortable, it is way more uncomfortable to be living the cycle that you're in than it is to actually go to the root and heal.
So good. Yes, yes. And then one more is getting to the root cause. Just like we
Yeah.
do with food and with our health, do it internally as well. Get to the root cause so that you can actually heal, not deal. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, so good.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Okay. So, thank you again for sharing your story. Before we wrap everything up completely, I like to just have you share one action step, one little thing that they could do that would start to get them closer to their goals.
Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna say it's gonna the decision part, that you stop looking at things as a choice and start to look at, what decision haven't I made that would get me closer to living the life that I want to live, that designing that life that I really want. Because I guarantee you there's a decision that you've been avoiding. And that decision that you've been avoiding has kept you in a 360. So if you could stop to get present, and what I mean by that is like literally stop whatever it is you're doing, take a deep breath, because that releases some oxytocin into your bloodstream and gets you the ability to be present. And then really ask yourself, what decision have I been avoiding? And even if it's uncomfortable, you're obviously avoiding it for a reason. So just allow yourself to go there and see what comes up. It could be a profound shift that you finally decide, okay, I'm not going to keep avoiding this anymore because it genuinely is not serving me. So stop, get present, take a deep breath, and then ask yourself the question, what have I been avoiding?
Wow. And for all of us type A personalities, that's really uncomfortable.
Yes, I know. I get it. I work with high performers, type A, all the
Yes,
time.
you
I
do.
know.
I love that. Oh my. That's the thing. Push through that uncomfortable part and do the deep work. So good.
Yeah. I mean, it's cliche, but it's true. Like, nothing happens in the comfort zone. So,
Exactly. Yes. Okay. I love this. This is so good. All right. Before we leave, where can people connect with you? Share with us, please. Where can people connect with you if they want to reach out to you for coaching or just follow you? What can they do?
yeah. So, you can follow me on any platform, but the main platform you can follow me at is on Instagram. And my handle is the Baller Coach. So, at the Baller Coach is where you can find me on Instagram.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Just to get to know you a little bit better. Three rapid fire questions. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Spain, Barcelona specifically.
It's on my bucket list.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Favorite healthy food?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. Okay, I don't know if you would qualify this as healthy, but I don't eat refined sugar, so this is why my brain went here. Dates.
Oh, so good. Yes, yes,
Okay.
so good. They're so healthy. So good for you. And then last thing, something we may be shocked to know about you.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. You probably got a lot of shock from stuff I shared. I'll share something. I used to be a professional ballet dancer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yes, did not know
Yeah.
that. That's so good. One last thing. I'm starting a fun little chain for our podcast,
Okay.
and each guest is going to ask a question of the next guest. Even though you don't know who's coming on next, what is a question that you would like to ask the next guest?
Okay, so Elsa, do we keep it easy or do we go deep and ask
No, no, no,
them,
no. Dig
what
in.
have you been avoiding? that you need to stop avoiding.
Okay. They may not like me
I
for
know.
that.
That's why I was like, do we go deep or should we keep this easy for them?
No, deep is good. This is great. Okay. Well, then, this is your question that the
Okay.
last guest, she didn't know you were coming. And like I said, if she knew who was coming, she would say, this is way too easy for you. But this is the question she asked was,
Okay.
have you thought about your purpose? And if so, are you living in your purpose?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yes, when I met God and I started reading the Bible, if I could just give a background to this really quick, I was baffled at how much of traditional self help has actually been extrapolated from what is in the Bible. It is literally the book of life. And I had no idea. Different concepts that I had been teaching and had learned from this person or that person and this thought movement and that and was like, whoa, okay. So I knew that my purpose at that point, and still is, was to bring God back into the self help industry. And that is exactly what I'm doing now and have been for the last almost 7 years now. And I continue to expand upon that and how I can do it on a greater scale.
Amazing. What a great conversation today. And for ladies that are listening, if you want to reach out to Alejandra or follow along, she shares so much great content as well. And I know you will not regret if you decide to take her coaching. So do that on Instagram, reach out to her and leave a comment of what is your biggest takeaway from today. Leave that for us so that we know what was your biggest takeaway from our conversation today. And don't forget to like, share, and all the things. Thank you for being here, Alejandra. It's
Thank
been
you. You're welcome. My
amazing.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today on Renewed and Radiant. I hope today's conversation sparked something in you, a shift, a question, or even a bold new intention. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another amazing woman. Until next time, stay strong, stay empowered, and keep showing up for yourself. Because you, my friend, are just getting started on designing a life you love.